guys doing? Dr. Nana here again. So, on today's episode, I just want to continue on the campaign of creating awareness regarding this Nigeria-China policy. Although this was something that has been in the making for the past 12 years, because I did my research, I just found out that these talks about having Nigeria to adopt the Chinese yuan. It's even hard to even pronounce it yuan or guan as part of Nigeria foreign reserve currency, and now speeding it up to they are now talking about adopting it as an official currency that can be used in Nigeria. This is ludicrous. I played this video of one of the lawmakers advocating
the value of Naira, triggering economic instability and uncertainty. Also note that the International Monetary Fund proposed diversification of foreign exchange reserve for Central Bank of Developing Countries, which Nigeria is one.
For this, it doesn't make no sense. Recall when Sanusi, the former CBN governor, was there. I found the video 12 years ago why he was advocating for the same policy.
Well, a number of issues. The decision was taken over a year ago. You recall in April last year at the AGB meeting in Abidjan, I did say that we had taken that decision. Part of it, obviously, is recognition of the increasing role of China in the global economy as the second largest economy in the world. It is also about the increasing role of China as a trade and investment partner for us. And also
that Nigeria should adopt Chinese yuan as one of the foreign reserve. There are so many backwardness that will come with that. All right? But they are not talking about it. What is a policy? I talked about it in my previous video. So a public policy is something that the public will be asking for it. Or the government want to solve societal issue. Then they will create policy that will help the system. This policy that they are advocating for, it's not helping Nigeria. When Buhari came to power in 2015, a yuan to this policy that they are advocating for, these lawmakers, they are obviously taking bribe, or they have taken bribe to sell the Nigerian future to Chinese. When Buhari came to power, right, a Naira to yuan, Chinese yuan, was between 28 Naira to 32 Naira. That is the conversion rate between Naira and yuan. And that was 2015. And when Buhari was leaving, yuan in 2023 became 89 Naira. Did that help or hurt our Nigerian system? Remember the Okoje Wireless? They were the one advocating for this policy that we should adopt yuan into Nigeria. So they promoted this policy and they devalued Naira. For no reason. They borrowed that policy from China, because there was a time China devalued their money to encourage investors. Recall, we and China, we don't have the same system. Borrowing that kind of policy was dangerous for Nigerian system. When Buhari came to power, a dollar to Naira was about, in 2015, a dollar to Naira was between 204, the highest, to 197, and the lowest was 179, a dollar to Naira. But when Buhari was leaving power, a dollar to Naira became like 903, between 900 to 1,000. So it never solved our problem, right? So these lawmakers, the Nigerian leaders, are gradually selling our country to China Okay? When you hear about country being recolonized, this is how it happens. China has begun since this. There are some people who are their lobbyists in Nigeria. Since that 2015, that Buhari came to power, things have changed from bad to worst for the Nigerian people. Nigerians need to pay attention. You do not devalue your currency just to attract investors. Think about it now. The only investors that came to Nigeria massively were the Chinese. Chinese has taken over so many places in Nigeria. Some of the chiefs in the south are selling vast lands to the Chinese people, which I did a program on. So these are dangerous moves that the Nigerian leaders are doing and the Nigerian the rulers are doing without thinking about the future of Nigeria. The way to build an economy to become strong is to develop your own things. Improve and develop your industries. The roads are all destroyed. Look at the roads. They are all destroyed. These are the way to rebuild your economy. You become an exporter, not just importing. But the Nigerian system focus on building their own economy by adopting policies of other countries, which is, in my view, these leaders that have been speaking about it, they've collected bribes. When Emefiele talked about this, little did any of us knew that he was a criminal. Emefiele took over from Sanusi, I think, and started promoting the same thing Sanusi had proposed. Sanusi was busy going about all over the nation, promoting all of these things. So these are people who are corrupt, in my view. They don't really have the interest of Nigeria at heart. So I'm creating this awareness this season for the Nigerian youth to take it over from here. Recall, there's this video.
Get the illicit trade in human organs. The House knows that about 2 weeks ago, acting on information provided by an anonymous source, Chinese authorities seized a ship that sailed from Nigeria with 7,200 refrigerated penises, which were found in 36 boxes labeled as plantain on a ship that harbored at the Shanghai port.
This is something that was talked about in 2021 in the House of Assemblies of Nigeria. Here is the video.
In China, they will be alive and they will marry all of you. This is something that we must understand. And the time to understand it is now. That this very movement we have embarked upon, you must understand, please. It is even for the benefit of the women. You must understand it.
Haven't you seen that? 7,200 manhood being served in a restaurant, if this is true, because what you are saying cannot deceive you. In China, a vessel that was moved from Nigeria to China. This is ridiculous, right? These are people. This is not right. So Buhari's regime became one of the worst administration Nigerians ever had, because all of these things happened during his own time, right? The Naira was devalued for no just cause reason. They borrowed a policy from China without thinking about the culture and the system of government. They just borrowed it. Ekoje Wala was one of the economists. They promoted these ideas and destroyed Nigerian Naira. And now, this administration, some of the leaders who have collected bribe, like all these people, are now advocating that they should adopt yuan as a foreign, as a currency that can be spent in Nigeria. Can you imagine? Is that not an extension? Are you not just opening the door for China to annex to us right before our eyes? They'll take over the schools, take over everything. Is that what you want? The way to build an economy, a strong economy in the country, is to invest in industries, build our roads, improve on our infrastructures, create jobs for the youths. This is the way to build your economy. So on today's episode, I'm creating this awareness. I'm showing all of these videos for you to know that there's a bad news to bringing in Chinese into our system in this form. They can become investors. Normally, I had advised even at the beginning that the way to bring in investors is to make them be partners to the Nigerian-owned businesses. It's not just to bring them and sell them vast land and borrow them Nigerian money. You can see now their yuan to Naira is becoming stronger. Recall that there's a video where the Chinese children are being taught Igbo languages. Just imagine that. This is a grand plan. And Nigerian youth need to open your eyes. Needless to say that the TikTok that all of you are now staying from morning to night wearing your sleep cap and calling each other names is built by China. All of your information they already have. So use it to benefit Nigeria, not going there to malign each other and curse each other and bring down each other and just say all sorts of horrendous things on the space. So I want to remind you all that this policy must not be adopted by Nigeria. Okay? You have to pay attention to that. We don't have the same culture with China. China are being ruled by authoritarian. We have a democracy in Nigeria, even though it's not functioning, but at least we have one. So the only way to improve our system is to make the government work for the system. Improve the infrastructure. The roads are all destroyed. Okay? Invest in our road, in our infrastructure, in our industry. Let us become exporters, not importers. We are only just importing things, including toothpick. So the next thing is not to allow Chinese to take over our system and recolonize Nigeria. So this is creating awareness. And this is something that is burning in my heart because I'm a policy person and I know what it means to adopt a policy that you cannot implement. And most of these lawmakers, they are rogues and they should be removed. Sanusi should not receive any credit because he was the one who started this policy. Okonjo-Iweala should not receive any credit because they are the one who promoted the devaluation of Naira without even thinking about how it will affect our system. And now we have not been able to come out of the mess they created. And I don't see any investors in Nigeria that is not Chinese. And now Chinese want to take over our money, our foreign reserve. And you think the American will be looking? So the youth of Nigeria, I want you to take your time. Take your time off the TikTok. Use it. If you are there on TikTok, use it to promote agendas that we promote Nigeria. You can see that most of these people, that they saw 7,000 man, 7,200 man. There are people that were killed in wherever, and their organs harvested. How do you relate with that? And most people go to church to pray for husband. How are you going to get it when they are already killed? I hope you guys understand there's a news going on in America right now about one of the highest of the highest. Just oppose that to what is happening in Nigeria. All these GEOs, they are something that they are not telling you. And that comes to you now. Before the end of this program, know your God yourself. All these people, they are not what they are telling you they are. God is the only one that it is who he say he is. I want to thank you all for listening. I hope that the youth of Nigeria will take it up from here, because I'll continue to do this program, telling you the danger of allowing yuan to be part of our currency. We should never allow that. Thank you for listening.